All right. How's everybody doing? If you ever hear that alarm or that siren, that lets you know there's something going on. I just met with the former mayor of Los Angeles, Mr. Antonio Villaraigosa, and thus far he has not kept his word. You all know me. I'm Reverend Sherman D. Manning, the proud pastor of the brand new church, the Yes We Can Worship Center, which is located at 5857 South Central Avenue, Suite 180, Los Angeles, California. Our service times are every Friday evening at 7 o'clock p.m. Every Friday evening at 7 o'clock p.m. National and international prayer vigil for the President of the United States of America and his cohorts is coming up on April 14th at 7 o'clock p.m. 7 o'clock p.m. California time. If you can be in Los Angeles, come to our church at 5857 South Central Avenue, Suite 180. And we will be welcoming you there as we lift up the president and all of his cabinet members in prayer and in prayer for the nation. April 14th, 2017, 7 o'clock p.m. Join us in prayer for the nation. Join us every Friday night at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Yes We Can Worship Center for 1 hour of power. Antonio Villaraigosa is the first Hispanic mayor of the city of Los Angeles, and I thought he did a pretty good job. And I just left the ministers' conference over at Mount Moriah, the Baptist Ministers' Conference, that is. And Villaraigosa addressed the ministerial conference and announced basically that he's running for governor, and he wants the ministerial support that he can get. After the meeting, I spoke with him and gave him my card, and he said he would call me and tell me what he proposed to do for those who have been wrongly convicted in California, as well as for those who are rightly convicted but ex-cons and trying to get reintegrated into society. He took my number and said, "Oh, I got to go right now. I'm going to call you on your cell right now." And that was about an hour ago. And to date, to moment, he has not called. And I just sent him an email and asked him not to be like most politicians and talk north and walk south. And I didn't say it to be sarcastic. I said it to be candid. You know, those of you who know me know that I came up under the tutelage of Reverend Hosea Williams, who was unbalked and unbossed, black all the way through, a soul brother. And Hosea Williams was the chief field general for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I love Reverend Hosea Williams. And I also came up under former United Nations Ambassador Andrew Young, who was also the 4-time mayor of Atlanta, Georgia. So I came under some strong leaders and strong leadership. And I've always been politically persuaded, politically motivated, and I love politics. And I think if you don't understand politics, you will never understand anything else in life. The more you understand people, the more you understand politics. The more you understand politics, the more you can understand sports, the church, and everything else. Everything is about politics. That's just the bottom line. So if you don't like politics, you might not ever be able to master the game of life, so to speak. But anyway, I would like for the mayor to call, and I'd like to find out what he intends to do for those who are trying to get a restart and are saddled with the stigma and the problems that come along with being an ex-convicted criminal in the state of California, and in the nation for that matter, because I'm seeing too many young men come out of prisons sicker, slicker, and they're tougher. And when they get out, they return quicker. And they have not been rehabilitated for a lot of different reasons. Number one, it's hard to, the word re means again. And the word habilitate means to make capable, to qualify, etc. Capable of work, for example. So if you've never had a job before, how are we going to help you get a job again? If you've never been qualified to work a job before, how are we going to make you qualified again for something that you were never qualified for before? You understand? And so rehabilitation needs to be re-looked at. Mentioning that word re again. We need to re-look at rehabilitation. We need to habilitate people. We need to make them capable of doing something in the beginning. We need to train them, to teach them. And I'm seeing way too many poor white boys, Hispanics, and African Americans come out of these prisons, and the first thing I notice is the walk. You know, there's an institutionalized walk that comes along with coming out of these prison systems, and they come out with these walks that look crazy as heck. And then after that, I see an institutionalized mentality, a mentality of just the loser's mentality, if you will. And these guys, as I said, they go to prison and become tougher, meaner, and slicker. And when they get out, they reoffend and go back to prison quicker. And at the end of the day, my brothers and sisters, what I want to know is, do you want this person to be your neighbor? Do you want this person to ride on the train with you? This person who has gone to prison for something he did do or for something he didn't do, who's now angry as hell and sitting in jail getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And now he's gotten out after 5 years or 10 years or 20 years for that matter. And now do you really want him living in your neighborhood? He's got to live somewhere. You want him going to the shopping mall with you? He's got to shop somewhere. You want him on the bus with you? He's probably going to be on the bus with you anyway. And so what I would say is that the better we treat them and the more we habilitate them and the more we educate them and the more we train them and teach them and the more humane we treat them while they are incarcerated, the better human beings they will be when they are no longer incarcerated. And when they get out, they'll be in a better position to become a productive member of society. And so at some point, we have to answer the question, what do we really want in this nation? Do we just want to be punitive? Do we just want to punish people? Do we just want to mistreat people or say, you did this, we're going to do that? Or do we want to make them better? Do we want to make them more capable, make them more qualified? Because one thing I learned about the prison system from the inside out is that 99% of the people who are in prisons are getting out. At some point in the future, they're going to get out. And so maybe you want to be narcissistic and selfish and only worry about the ones who are going to get out in your lifetime. But if you really love your children and your children's children the way you say you do, if you really love that grandbaby the way you say you love that grandbaby, my question to you is, do you want that grandbaby to be raped? Do you want that grandbaby to be molested? Do you want that granddaughter to be accosted by some sicko who has been in prison for 20 or 30 years and you're in heaven now, and now your child and your child's child and your child's grandchild is being raped and molested and beat and killed and treated in a sinister manner by some convicted felon that should have never been there in the first place, or if he was there, should have been treated better in the first place. And the reason they were able to treat him the way they were able to treat him is because you and me forgot about guys in prisons and in jails, because we are so I'm looking for a word. I can't get it at the moment. It's escaping my memory. But we're so in the moment, is what I'm trying to say. We're so concerned about what's going on now and now only. We're not able to be men and women of vision. We're not able to look beyond the now moment and see that there is a future. We're not able to say, hey, what's going to be going on 5 years from now, 10 years from now? We just live for the moment. You know, we don't plan. We don't have vision. We don't see the future. And in order to see the future, you gotta have vision, and you have to look beyond the now moment and look at what is going to happen. The people who run the world are people who think about 100 years from now, and it's hard to do if you don't train yourself to do that. You know, we just think about me, my, I want to eat today, and I know what that feels like when you're striving and you're struggling just to eat today. You say much less next week. I'm just trying to make it through the today. I'm trying to pay my rent today. I'm trying to buy some petroleum for today. I ain't got enough money to think about next week or next month, much less next year. But we have to train ourselves to think in terms of the future and to understand that if we love our children, that our children are going to have children and they'll have children too. And what kind of society are we going to leave for them? But to bring it back up to right now, there are guys who are getting out of prisons every day who are evil, who are wicked. And most of them were not that way when they went there. You ought to read my book, Creating Monsters. I talk in that book about how the system itself creates monsters. Get it. It's on Amazon.com. Creating Monsters by me. Go take a look at it. Read that book. That book can change lives. Creating Monsters. And then take a look at my other book, I've written 22 of them by the grace of God. I thank God for enabling me to write those books. But look at the other one of the other ones, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. That book is not just about O.J., but it is about the no-J's. Read those two books if you read none other. Read Creating Monsters and read The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. I talk about how the system itself is a felony. You know how they have condemned outside a building? You should put condemned outside California's 33 prisons because they are evil and the folk who work in there are evil. And they abuse inmates, they kill them, they murder them, they mistreat them, they defeat them, they psychologically incarcerate their spirits, their minds, and their souls. They don't allow them to become productive members of society. They don't promote growth. They don't promote sanity. They don't promote humanity. They promote evil. They are systematic failures, and they are producing killers and molesters. And I didn't mean to get into all of that. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that I met with Antonio Villaraigosa, who's running for governor, and he said he would call me. Made it sound like he was going to call me right that minute as soon as he pulled out, because what happened was there was a car behind us trying to get out of the church parking lot, and he looked back and saw that and said, "Oh, we got to go. I'll call you on your cell." Now, one could say he used that as a good excuse to get the heck out of Dodge because he didn't want to talk to me. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'll find out. But I'm waiting for his call and haven't gotten it yet. But I love politics. Get pretty sick of some politicians. The ones who just say one thing and do another. The ones who just come out, to church to talk to preachers because I'm running. And then if they win, you'll never see them again until it's time to vote. It's a joke, baby. It's a joke. It's a joke. Or they might have some contact with the president of the Baptist Ministers Conference. He might have an in because he invited him in to speak. But the rest of us, guys who perhaps don't have a mega church yet, guys who perhaps don't have the largest church in the city yet, wield no political influence. This must change. This must not be. This must not be. And mentioning political influence and membership and all of that, let me ask you again, if you want to help Yes We Can Worship Center to become the kind of church that I have visioned it being, that I want it to be, that I will it to be, that I pray it to be, that it shall be, then I need your help. If you're one of these guys who sit around and criticize everybody and think everybody's out just for a buck, then I'm not talking to you. You can hit mute for a moment. Give me about 90 seconds. And I want to talk to the rest of you, the counselor in the prison system that I haven't heard from in a while. You know who you are. Your initials are A.W. Others that I haven't heard from in a while, write a check to Yes We Can Worship Center. Yes We Can Worship Center. Si se puede Worship Center. And mail it to 5857 South Central Avenue, Suite 180, Los Angeles, California, 90011. If you can send $500, wonderful. We need it. If you can send $250, wonderful. We need it. If you can send $1,000, send it. If it's only $100, send it. If it's $25, if it's $10, whatever you can send. Please send it today. Yes We Can Worship Center. Make the check payable to the Yes We Can Worship Center. Send it to 5857 South Central Avenue, Suite 180, Los Angeles, California, 90011. And we'll be glad to use your money to help the people, to visit those who are in prison, to house the homeless, to feed those who are hungry. If you have any questions, call 213-377-8681. That's 213-377-8681. We do have services available in bilingual. We do have bilingual services available, I meant to say. Okay, come see us on Friday night, every Friday night for an hour of power. And to those of you white supremacists who may be listening or what have you, please know that if we ain't got nothing else, baby, we have security. Just wanted to put that out there. We have security. And I'm not talking about these little guys walking around and their only weapon is a flashlight. We have security. I'm going to leave it at that. We have security. So don't come over there with no mess. Don't come in there with no jive, especially if you want to leave out alive. I believe in self-defense. I believe in that. I saw what happened to Martin Luther King Jr. I saw what happened to Malcolm X. So if nothing else, black folks and black leaders have learned how to secure the premises and secure the preacher. So don't come with mess. If you got mess, just stay at home. If you want, don't start none, won't be none. We're here to worship and praise God, and we're here to help people. And if you have some kind of personal agenda and some kind